Good morning, y'all. I wasn't planning on making a video, but considering something I just read, just like really like kind of set me off in a way, not in a bad way, just the wording of this type of thing. I may be turning my head because I'm actually going to be reading something off of the uh, PC, but it's something about the way words are used and stuff. This has to do with J.D. Vance that was just put on the ticket with Mr. Trump. Excuse me. I wasn't prepared for this, but this is an interview that he did with Newsweek, and the story is by Omar Muhammad, and it was done 16 hours ago. So I'm just putting that out there. So I'm just gonna read this, and anybody, if you're not near retirement age or something like that, this is going to bore you to death, so just go ahead and move on. But if you are near retirement age or already there, like myself, pay attention to the wording that this guy uses. And by the way, J.D. Vance is not really his name, but that's a whole different story, okay? Let me just read this. I'm going to have to turn my head, but I'm going to turn my head and I'm just going to read just a little bit of this, okay? Ohio Senator J.D. Vance has been catapulted onto the 2024 presidential campaign after the Republican nominee for the presidency, Donald Trump, selected him to be his running mate ahead of the vote in November. As Vance, a Republican, takes up the role, voters would be keen to hear his views on such matters of national significance like Social Security. Experts have suggested that the trust fund that helps pay benefits to retirees could be depleted in about a decade. So let me go on down here. Last month, the senator had suggested that Social Security was facing a demographic challenge in the U.S. And this is a quote, okay, that he gave to the New York Times. Begin quote, "One way of understanding the Social Security problem is old people can't work. Old people can't work." Continuing, "Young people can." Continuing, "Babies can't." Continuing the quote, "So people at a certain age support the babies and the old people. And typically in our society, that's people between the ages of 18 and 65. Vance told New York Times columnist Ross Doubt that. What an odd name that is. You ought to look at the spelling of that. Anyways, in the interview, Vance seemed to indicate he was against cuts to Social Security. Well, I sure as hell hope so. If the argument here is we have to cut Social Security, then what are you effectively saying is we just have to privatize what is currently a public problem of who pays for the older generation. He was quotes as saying, "And I don't know why people think that you solve many problems by taking a bunch of elderly people and saying, You're on your own. Okay, let us just stop right here, okay? If the Social Security Fund had not been robbed over the years, would no other generation be paying for us baby boomers? Okay? There would be no other body paying for us because we had already paid in for to the system through our entire work careers. So there is no young people paying for old people and babies. And frankly, I resent the fact of being called old. Okay? You know what? You have an old car. You have an old pair of shoes. That is not what senior citizens are. We are productive members of society. So get off of that old people crap. Alright, dude? It's offensive. And it shows your disconnect with um, your constituency or probably everyone at large. Don't be calling nobody no old person. Dude, you have old t-shirts in your closet, okay? We are human beings. We were productive members of society and paid into the system that you're referring to. What you need to be saying, what you need to be doing is don't be doing this political doublespeak already, okay? Because I know what political doublespeak is. So let me just see here if there's anything else I care to. So this guy went on to point out that asked if raising taxes to support Social Security, Vance said he was not against the idea but questioned whether that would solve the challenge long term. Quote, raising middle class taxes, I don't like that idea for obvious reasons, he said. Political reasons, no doubt. You can get some revenue out of raising taxes on wealthy Americans, but there's no way that you can run an economy at a structural growth rate of around 1% with demographics that are getting worse and worse and worse and solve the problem by taxing rich people. So let me just clarify something, because you know what? Politicians do not use words for no reason. Words are very powerful, and strings of words are very powerful. Let me just read that again. At a growth rate of around 1% with demographics that are getting worse and worse and worse. Do you know the demographic he's talking about? The old people. This is who he's talking about. Like our situation, because as some of you may know, and I know because I was born in the last year of the baby boomers, which at that time was a very large generation. It was right after World War II. I was born in the last year of the baby boomers. This is what he is talking about, that it is getting worse, worse, and worse. And this is not intended to be a political video at all. If somebody takes it that way, that's their own business. But look, this demographic that are getting worse and worse and worse is the old people. That's who he is talking about, that is getting worse and worse and worse. A drain on society. This is implied. This is called classic political doublespeak. And for people near retirement age or something, you need to understand what it is that you're reading and what it is that you hear these people saying, because they mean what they're saying. They mean it. And But I want to clarify something, and this, having grown up and paid Social Security tax throughout my entire work career, is that ain't no young people paying for no old people and babies. Here's the reason. The money was put in there over our entire work careers. All of us old people that he refers us to, the money should be there in that fund if it had not been stolen. So don't be coming with this thing about young people are going to be supporting old people and babies. I mean, it'd be one thing, to support babies, which, I've got. If you can't afford to feed them, don't breed them. That's my idea with that whole thing. But you know what? Old people, we didn't have no choice in that Social Security tax. That was taken right out of our checks all these years. And to say now, see, this is where the political doublespeak comes in. And for people that are unread, they just go, yeah, yeah. No, it is not. It's depleted. The Social Security fund is depleted because they friggin' robbed it. And now it's being put off on somebody else. So this worsening, how's he saying it? With demographics that are getting worse and worse and worse, it's the old people that are reaching retirement age and that he's referring to that is getting worse and worse and worse. Like an old t-shirt that you wear every time you go out to do yard work. Every time it gets worse and worse and worse. That is what he is saying there. I'm just saying it the way it is. I didn't write this. This is an interview quote that he made. So anyways, that's all I got to say about this. Old people, Mr. Vance, ain't being supported by no young people because we done worked and paid into the system our entire work careers. So get your statements and your political double speaks in order, because some of us understand exactly what you're saying. Ain't no young people gonna have to support a bunch of old people. You know why? Because we done work and put our money in there. We were forced to put our money into that Social Security retirement account. The government didn't give us no choice to do that. You know why? Because y'all automatically took it out of our check. Where's the money at, Mr. Vance? Huh? This from one old person to a young person, and you ain't ever going to have to worry about no Social Security. I guarantee you that, because, you know, not on your friend's benefits of being vice president. You ain't never going to have to worry about that. But you know what? Don't be referring to senior citizens as old people, okay? You got old shoes and old t-shirts in your closet. We are not old people. We are senior citizens. We deserve the due respect, and there ain't no young people that should be supporting old people, because that's our money that we put into a fund that somebody in y'all circle, your political circles, done stole. Okay, that's it. That's all I got to say about this.